Today's episode of the Cedric A. Phillips podcast is brought to you by the Viking Experience, because what the fuck is that? Are you kidding me? So, I'll give you a little spoiler here. Joe and I recorded a podcast here reviewing NXT Takeover New York and, of course, Wrestlemania. And we were doing it while Raw was taking place. So he had Raw on at his home and I had Raw on at my home. And we also were able to announce and see some of the superstar shakeup that was taking place. And we got ourselves the Viking Experience and we just couldn't keep it together. The War Raiders, who are the NXT champions, we think... Not sure if they still are anymore. They were Rowan Hansen, and they're Eric and Ivor now, and they're no longer the War Raiders or War Machine like they were in ROH. They're the Viking Experience. Vince, what the fuck? That's all I can say right now. So, I'm going to go to Jewel Vera now, Julevera. They have some new music that's come out, a new single called Gum that you're about to hear right now, but of course you can hear their music over on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your tunes. You can find Gum there, and you're going to find it here right now before you endure the Viking Experience. All right, everybody, welcome to a, should I say return, or are you going to yell at me if I say return to the podcast?
Say whatever the fuck you want, man.
Welcome to a wrestling episode of the Cedric A. Phillips podcast. I'm your host. Just got done eating some Chick-fil-A, Cedric Phillips, at Cedric A. Phillips on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I am joined by, you're Baron Corbin's biggest fan this week after that Wrestlemania show, baby. Joey Baggs, say it.
Say what?
It. Say it. My client defeated Kurt Angle like I said he would.
This is going to be a really nice few months for you because you're going to have this is the thing that you like to do where you're like, I'm going against the common perception. Baron Corbin is gas. But here's the problem, my friend. A lot of times you're right about those things. Buddy the dog just shook his head and went, not this time. Not this time, Uncle said. He says, Baron shit, and we all know it.
Well, buddy the dog, it might be time for your end of days. That's what I say to that, because Baron Corbin is. He retired Kurt Angle.
Is terrible, yes.
He's totally fine.
Is boring, yes.
I'm not going to stand for this. He might be the most over heel in the company.
He has less charisma than Apollo Crews.
That's not true. That is not true. This is one of the people, unfortunately, that the removal of Talking Smack did hurt quite a bit.
Ooh, Apollo Crews, you're right. By this time, he probably would have gotten over.
What they've done to Apollo Crews' career is... It's actually just shameful.
By the way, I'd like to comment that you and I were recording this on an actual Monday night while Raw is on.
That's right.
The Superstar Shakeup is going on. I'm currently a few minutes behind, but I will get caught up. And I'm sure there'll be some live reactions to... I mean, all I know is Drake Maverick is currently on my screen because he's still apparently the GM of 205 Live.
He is?
I guess?
I don't really watch 205 Live very much.
I mean, I haven't seen him on the show in a while.
He's also the manager of EC3 now.
He sure is, but that's an act that's worked in the past.
Yeah, so I'm good with that. I'm glad he's not the manager of Authors of Pain anymore, or excuse me,
Op,
because they are all set. They're injured right now.
Yeah, one is injured. The other one wrestles on main event or Superstar sometimes.
Oh, dude, this is awesome.
What?
Sasha Banks is not backstage at Raw.
Oh, also it's all a work.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
She tweeted something out today that was basically like, yeah, you guys believe all that nonsense. Idiots.
So I saw that, but I don't know if that's her trying to save face or not.
Nah.
Do you think they're turning heel?
It's possible. I mean, it might be the actual easiest double turn in history. if they turned. Oh boy, Buddy the dog is having a real rough time right now.
What's wrong?
I don't know. He can't relax, and my lovely wife Margaret has tried her best to try to get him under control, but it is he's just like standing right next to me with his his head on top of me.
Okay, he's just not having it.
Yeah.
Someone's on Raw right now and they are not happy.
Well, now let's not spoil things.
Yeah, should I not spoil things for you since you're playing catch up?
Yeah, I mean, I could just catch up because I don't really fucking care about this Stephanie McMahon promo. So
all right, good.
I'm just gonna hit live.
Yeah, you just hit live because there's some angry Vikings in the ring right now.
Oh, little War Raiders, huh?
Yes. Your NXT Tag Team Champions are apparently on Raw, but
they're wrestling on the Revival side.
I don't know. This might be a 4-way match.
Oh, maybe. Although I did just see them all standing in the same corner.
Here we go.
Like Ryder and Hawkins.
Which team's out of place here?
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
I've got the Revival. I've got the War Raiders. I've got Aleister Black and Ricochet, and of course, Ryder and Hawkins.
Side note: if that was actually the Hype Bros, it would be the 4 greatest teams in NXT history.
I forgot the Hype Bros were a thing. Anywho, we're supposed to be reviewing NXT Takeover and Wrestlemania.
Right, yeah, let's get to it.
You want to try that? You want to get started? Well, this is actually really nice that the War Raiders are on our TV right now because they're the first match we're going to review.
Do we have any nonsense you want to talk about? No, we're good. All right.
I've got one piece of nonsense. Okay.
All right.
It is very small and minor, but we do have a lot we have to cover, and I have to go get a haircut in 70 minutes. But a listener of the podcast, of someone I met when I was on my trip to Hawaii last year. Let me get his name out here. It's John. It's John Shu. Schumacher. I want to make sure I didn't fuck that up, Johnny.
I was definitely ready for a mistaken name there. I thought the person's name was like John Shu, and you were just like didn't know how to say that.
Oh, sure. That's in my range, so I don't fault you for that at all. John Schumacher, friend of my buddy Christian Keith, who I met at Vegas I met in Hawaii when we traveled last year to Kauai. He had posted a picture of fried rice on his Instagram. And he said best fried rice like ever. And I was like, I need to know more about this fried rice. And he said it's Best Friend Inside Park MGM Korean Barbecue by Roy Cha.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good? Yep.
So never heard of this before. And he said free meal if you plug it on the podcast, says Felicia, his fiance. And then he said, all right, I said that. So the plug is done. Shu, you owe me fried rice now. Done. I can be bought.
I would also like some fried rice.
Shu, you owe 2 orders of fried rice now to the podcast. There you go. That's my plug for the day. And thank you, Johnny, for listening to the podcast. Bags, do you have any nonsense very quickly here?
No, I don't really have anything super nonsensical to start the show with. I did want to shout out my wife's grandfather who celebrates his 96th birthday today.
Is that the picture I saw with all the ice cream?
That was from his 90th birthday. He is the oldest man, and he loves ice cream so much. He currently has a singleton tooth.
Okay.
He has 2 teeth. I'm sorry.
2 teeth. Okay.
Because he's getting new false teeth. So all he can really eat is ice cream, and he just I've seen some happy people in my day, but when he received ice cream for his birthday, it was as happy as you can imagine.
I wonder what it's like to just when you're old and you're just like, when you're like our age, you like think about eating ice cream. You're just like, well,
I have breaking news.
Oh, what do you got?
The War Raiders name has been changed.
Oh no! I don't even know what this could be. Okay.
To the Viking Experience, Eric and Ivar.
You are not serious.
I received that breaking news from our friend of the podcast, Robert Charlton.
Oh my God. Eric?
You're changing his name to Eric?
You're getting the company to Eric?
Eric is a bad name.
Eric and which one's Ivar? Which one's Eric? What? What do you mean?
Also, the Viking Experience? Are you experienced?
Vince, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Ray Rowe is now known as Eric.
Oh my
Eric.
God. Oh my God.
And why are they on Raw? Who knows? Wait, are they still the War Raiders when they're in NXT?
Your new NXT champions, the Viking Experience. What?
When did that title change happen? Well, it didn't. They're just changing their names, and also they're now known as Eric and Ivar.
I would like. Oh, dude, I'm about to get so mad. Look, Ali was a lot. Okay, removing the Mustafa from Ali was a lot, but now,
I mean, let's be honest,
dude.
Now we know why Eric Rowan lost his first name. They had to give it to somebody else.
Wait till I send you this link. Wait till I send you this link on Facebook. Brandon Stroud just killed it on Twitter. Here it comes.
Eric!
You're going to give the company to Eric, huh? There it is. Go ahead and take a look at that.
I'm going over to check it out, and I'm sure this is going to be really funny.
You have got to be kidding me with this. Vince? All right, well, okay, so which match are we covering first? Are we covering the War Raiders versus Black and Ricochet or the Viking Experience against Black and Ricochet?
It's a triple threat.
Yeah, it was a triple threat match to open the NXT pay-per-view. I will say this. The match was good. It was actually really good.
The match was amazing. I think somebody asked us on Twitter like what match they would show to somebody who was just like getting back into wrestling to like show them what's going on, like how like what the shows are like now. And they actually picked this match, and I don't think that's a terrible choice at all, because it's a perfect example of tag team wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. What's Margaret got?
Margaret. Honestly, I can just tell you, my mom just texted me to ask if we were coming over for Easter, and we needed to answer that. So.
Okay. All right. Maybe we leave that in. Maybe we leave it out. I don't know.
And I don't care.
Yeah, leave it in.
Apparently, Michael Cole just keeps asking if Black and Ricochet are on Raw now.
Bob, you do know that this show got rewritten, right?
Dude. Oh, it did?
Yeah, like there was some sort of travel issue or something. They had to rewrite the show or something.
Uh-huh.
Also,
are we just not going to comment on the fact that the War Raiders are heels now?
Yeah, why are they with the Revival? Okay, I've got a website open, 411 Mania, to Raw, The Miz, Ricochet, Aleister Black, War Raiders, in parentheses, now known as the Viking Experience, end parentheses.
Aren't they still the NXT Tag Champs?
I believe they
I don't see any belts out there. I mean, are we just... are they just being... wait, did the War Raiders never exist? And we just didn't... And it was all a dream? I had a dream.
Was it the Velveteen Dream?
I had a dream,
So wait, what experience do you want? Do you want the Dreams experience or do you want the Viking experience?
Dude, that's
what is happening?
Is that a bottom 3 name ever? It is, I think. Like,
okay, so what's the worst name of all time?
Kerwin White.
All right, I was going to say the Dicks.
The Dicks are bad, but were they even in WWE? No, right?
No, they made it to WWE.
Oh, yeah, they made it on SmackDown a couple times. The Dicks were very bad, but Kerwin White, when everyone knows it's Chavo Guerrero.
All right, Kerwin White is tough. That's a tough rebrand.
And his rebrand was like he's white. Get it?
You get it. You get it. This is a horrifying display by Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah, this is a true disaster. So the Miz is on Raw now?
That's what the thing I'm reading says.
I do not know what they're doing, but the only thing I could think of is perhaps they're going to switch the belts, which I think they should, to move the WWE title back to Raw where it belongs.
Perhaps.
And that way you can have Daniel Bryan on Raw as well, where he's a bigger draw.
Here's what I'll say before we move to our... Okay, first of all, do we have anything else to say about that match? between the Viking
I mean,
experience.
like, this podcast is off the rails now, and it's going to probably stay that way. Like,
It's definitely going to.
because Eric is now joined the roster. Can you even just imagine, like, you know your dream, you make it to the WWE main roster, and you get your picture like on the webpage, and it's just, instead of saying Ray Rowe, which is what you've been your entire life, including the part of your life before you wrestled, now it's just Eric. You're just Eric. I mean, Ivar is not even a name.
Ivar's is a chain here in Seattle. It's a fish chain.
Well, there you go. I mean, basically the fishmonger himself.
Okay, look, it was a very good match. It was a great open to the card. The War Raiders won. Someone won. Some combination of the War Raiders and the Viking Experience won, which is what we predicted would happen. And that's all I can really muster about the opening match of Takeover. I think we move on. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say about Takeover, just to sum it up, because I have a feeling that these matches aren't going to get the credit that they deserve from us because we're going to be talking about other crap.
Yeah, because we're watching Raw, which has made the podcast infinitely better somehow.
Takeover was a perfect wrestling show, even though the matches weren't all perfect, because it had something for everyone. Every style of wrestling that you want to see, that you want represented, was represented. And in the first match, Aleister Black and Ricochet, playing like the plucky, more high spot type guys, and then the War Raiders just being like these bruiser dudes that are like the bases of all their high spots. It worked perfectly. The last 10 minutes of this match was crazy good.
It really was. It really, really was.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to my all-time favorite client.
This is, of course, the Velveteen Dream against a client that I'm going to purchase right now.
This is an insane purchase, because I'm going to make you, like, you're not allowed to take another client for a while because everyone wants this guy.
That's fair. You know what? I agree with that. Matt Riddle, come on down. You're a member. And you know what? I think he's a great member of BDS Inc. because he's kind of a doofus like me, or at least he plays one on TV. And, when he got signed and everything, this is another case of I had not seen his work because he works on the independents and I don't watch that stuff.
And let's be honest, you don't love the MMA influence style.
Well, so it takes me a little while to come around to.
The same thing happened with Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, now I love Kyle O'Reilly. Love him. So, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Riddle. You said he was great. You were right, because he is great. And he got to do, like, the full display during his match against the Velveteen Dream.
It was super dominant performance by Riddle. I think this was a just beautifully booked match, because Riddle got to showcase all of his awesome stuff. But at the same time, Dream still won, so it's a huge deal. It also gets the undefeated streak nonsense off of Riddle, so he doesn't have to, like, they don't have to play that up forever, because every new guy that comes in has to deal with that to a degree. And I'm glad that it's already done. And let's just say that the Dream, I mean, he never fails, really. Every match he has is so good.
He's incredible.
And this was a totally different style for the Dream, where he took the heat for most of the match, like where he just got beat down the entire time, and none of his tactics were working because Riddle's like oblivious to that shit.
Yeah, he's too stupid to realize any of the taunts or anything.
But then, like, at the very end of the match, he fell for it, like, because Dream wouldn't stay down, and Riddle got a little too aggressive or whatever, and then he got miracle pinned.
Yep.
I thought this match was tremendous. I'm obviously a huge sucker for Velveteen Dream's matches in general, because I think he's a phenomenal storyteller.
I think he's great at everything.
Yeah, he is great at everything.
I think he's honestly just kind of outrageous how good he is at everything. I just saw what's Hanson's name now?
Ivar.
I just saw Ivar do his cartwheel, which is a weird move for a heel to do.
Now somehow I'm ahead of you, by the way.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm streaming this on like Daily Motion or something. What's this move?
I just saw the Revival and the Viking Experience, doing some having a little teamwork action.
Dude, I can't do it.
You know what's amazing is that they're doing the war chant. What do they say now? Viking? Ivar,
The problem,
Ivar.
the problem I have with this is like, also, so I don't know if they're okay. Well, Zack Ryder just got Fallout.
Yeah, he sure did.
Eric and Ivar.
Newest draft pick has been revealed,
What you got?
and things just make zero sense. The answer is Cedric Alexander?
To Raw?
I guess.
I mean, I think he's above 205.
I mean, he is, but this is sort of weird because he's wrestled on Raw before.
I will say he's DOA.
Yeah, he has no chance of success, right?
Guy can't cut a promo.
And he's also quietly like on the fucking roster at the same time as Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's nothing. I mean, he's really good, obviously, but like, dude has no character, no promo, no nothing.
He's the classic Vince favorite, though. Smiling black man.
Oh, he'll do some dumb shit. Probably team up with Apollo Crews and some other black people.
Get ready for that.
I will say this. I thought about this a few minutes ago. If anyone was wondering why Dean Ambrose quit, well, not anymore.
What would Dean Ambrose's name have been changed to? Just Dean? Oh, God. Here comes Finn Balor to put his crotch right in my face.
Please, yes. Let's see.
I mean, truthfully, Balor Club is for everyone.
It really is. Riddle is great. Match was great. Bro mission, everything that Riddle got to do here was great. And the loss has no effect on him whatsoever.
The fucking deadlift German from the second rope.
Yeah, it was great.
Was outrageous. The bump that the Dream took on that was disturbing.
That's a good beating.
But yeah, I just think the Dream is truly special. I think Riddle, this is like one of those things I could picture like this rivalry going for a while too. Like if they do the next match where Riddle just fucking demolishes him and then Dream has to like kind of do like the Rocky storyline in order to like, you know, get back to where he was. I think that would work really well. The redemption storyline after he just gets murdered. Speaking of getting murdered, I wasn't sure that they had the balls to do what they did in the next match.
Well, speaking of the next match, it's time to play Walter. That's how I'm going to say his name because it's all caps. His music.
Which, by the way, we can play it as much as we want because it's public domain, my friends.
It's beautiful.
Dude, classical music always rules for wrestlers. It's always good.
You know my favorite thing about Walter? My favorite thing about actually I should I bought him or Riddle?
You can't have
who's got
Walter.
the higher no, I can't well, who's got the higher ceiling there?
Between Riddle does. He's way more handsome.
Yeah, that's a thing. All right, fine.
Plus Walter wouldn't look that special on a roster with like the Big Show and company. He looks special because in his environment, in general in Europe, he's enormous.
Yeah, he's the biggest guy.
The murder baby.
Another example of me not seeing their independent work. This is really the first lengthy match I've seen from Walter. Goodness. My goodness. I think he's incredible.
Yeah, he's great. What makes Walter special and also Pete Dunne special is that this felt like a fight. It felt like these two guys were trying to hurt each other the entire time. I don't think there was a single rest hold in the match. There was a lot of grappling, but I don't think there was a single rest hold in the entire match. And Walter was definitely sucking wind at the end of the match. But I would hope so. It was 27 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a long, grueling match.
I also like that Walter's like, fuck this, I'm hitting this splash. And that's all there is to it.
Yeah. It's like when normally like the big wrestler is a big dummy. Like, remember the first time Braun went for the splash on Roman Reigns and missed?
Yeah, and everyone's just like, why?
Yeah, or like every time Flair used to go on the top and it's like, Rick,
what are you even doing up there?
Rick, you've never hit this move before. I love that Walter was just like, I'm hitting this fucking splash.
Dude, Randy Orton did one of those, I think, at WrestleMania, where he went to the top, and I was like, the fuck is Randy Orton going to do off the top? And clearly it was a flying nothing, but, you know.
Oh no, dude.
What?
My friend Mark Nestico just tweeted at me. I think this is true. You ready for this?
Yes.
Get ready to have your handle mistaken because they are 100% changing Cedric Alexander's name to just Cedric. Gaining the main roster spot means losing your last name. I might be under attack now on Twitter.
Oh my God. It's true.
Cedric!
Well, you know how they could fix that, of course. Or how you could fix it even. I mean, you could just start going by Cedric.
Okay.
Or Cedric, or whatever some of those other good names.
Yeah, some of the other names that people can't get right for me. I think my favorite part of this match was, so everyone obviously knows all about Walter's chops. And the first stage of this match was setting up Pete Dunne trying to avoid them.
And then he moved on to trying to hurt his hand.
Yes.
He's like, all right, fine. I can't avoid these, but I don't want to get hit by them anymore. So new plan, attack.
There's this awesome part. There's awesome sequence in the match where Walter goes for a big chop and Pete Dunne's in the corner and he ducks it and runs out of the corner and Walter's like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you with a chop.
The next one's going to hit.
Yeah, and it's awesome because Walter's just like, God damn it, I'm gonna get you, and it is gonna hurt. And then he finally gets him, and Pete Dunne sells it he the chops are knocking him to the ground.
Breaking news: another Raw Superstar edition.
Hit me.
It's another one named person.
Oh,
and he's
Tony,
and he's about to take on Finn Balor in what would legitimately be a dream match 5 years ago, and now is I don't know what it is about Finn Balor, but he just doesn't do it for me. And he's about he's about to wrestle Andrade.
That would be a dream match, actually.
Zelina Vega's about to get some talk time.
I like Zelina Vega.
She's a good promo, yeah.
Yeah. That would be a dream match back in the day. Also, I'm glad you're finally on the Finn Balor isn't that good train.
I've been on that train with you for a long time. You are the conductor, but I've been on the train for a while. I tried to get off the train for briefly again. But I just don't. His WWE work just isn't good. And I'm going to tell you another secret about somebody else's WWE work that isn't good. And you're going to get real mad at me because I think he's one of your clients.
Uh-oh.
Drew McIntyre.
It's fine.
His main roster work, it's very boring. It's very boring.
I do think his heel work is a little bit boring. I mean, he does some impressive stuff because he's very strong and very big, but It reeks of Randy Orton.
It reeks of Randy Orton. That's a perfect way to put it. It's just he's very. It's methodical is one thing, but then Orton is a totally different thing.
Yeah, there can only be one Orton.
Yeah, and please let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I mean, Walter versus Dunne was really, really good stuff. Walter won. Not much of a surprise. I think we both predicted that to happen.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, Pete Dunne had the belt for 685 days.
I'm just curious where we go next because, they're going to have their rematch. I assume that Walter will win, and then who's going to be the next challenger to Walter?
There's plenty of guys that can challenge. I mean, they have, Tyler Bate could always come up. I think Trent Seven is viable. I think in the long term, Jordan Devlin is viable. Hopefully not.
The Irish Ace.
Hopefully not Gallus.
I don't think we're going to see much more of Gallus. I had to guess. I do think this would be a really good time to bust out Trent Seven in a feud that he obviously loses.
Right, but he's really good at getting sympathy, and then you could transition from there into Tyler Bate because British Strong Style. Basically, then it would be all three of them would have lost to Walter.
Yeah, and those are top of the card guys anyway.
Right, exactly.
And then you got to find some new challenger, which allows you to introduce a new wrestler or something. Or if it were up to me, David Starr.
Or if it was up to me, Martel Bartel.
I like that guy a lot.
9.
It'll
probably be Ilya Dragunov, actually.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that they signed, he's awesome.
Okay.
He's from Walter's promotion in Germany.
Oh, cool.
Women's title match. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair. A match that I was 100% sure that Bianca Belair was going to be out of place in. Nope, incorrect.
She was good.
She did a great job in this match. She still doesn't know where she's supposed to be a lot of the time, but she is a athletic marvel. That double KOD was
it's pretty dope.
It was pretty amazing, yes.
So here's my question. Shayna won, which was cool. I think I picked Shayna to win. You picked somebody else. You picked Kyrie.
I picked Shayna.
Okay.
I always pick Shayna.
That's fair. The Sky Pirates. Here's my question, because I like Kyrie. I'm not really into Io at this point.
I mean, if she could hit a fucking moonsault on them, it's crazy. Like,
I don't understand what happened.
I don't know if the ring ropes are like different bounciness or something, but it's been weird.
My question is, are they better as singles wrestlers, or are they just going to be a tag team because of what's going on in the main roster, and they're just going to be pigeonholed there?
They're better. They're both amazing singles wrestlers, but I think if they want to be successful on the main roster, I think the tag team is where they're going to do it. So
okay.
I think that's where they should go eventually, and I think keeping them on the NXT roster to work out some of the kinks in their teamwork stuff, which there was a ridiculous move in this match where Io slingshotted Kyrie over the top rope, which he did the elbow onto the outside, onto the two clowns that you hate.
Let's play and let's fight.
Yeah, let's play and let's fight. So
best part of what they do are their shirts.
That's about all they got.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, Shayna continues to just be awesome, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's just very different. You never feel bored watching her wrestle. She doesn't do any of like the tropes that you're used to in wrestling, so every match feels different, feels exciting, and it looks like she could kill anybody. So
okay, let's place right now. I've got Balor versus Andrade on my screen. I'm a little bit behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is for the belt.
Yeah.
My guess is Andrade wins this match.
I actually could definitely see that, and the match is definitely not over yet, and it's Raw is rolling on right now.
It's rolling on, huh? Okay. For some reason, I think that Andrade is going to win.
I mean, it would make sense, right?
A little shake-up action.
Plus Balor, I mean, what does he need a belt for? He doesn't.
Looks good with a belt on, though.
Well,
I mean, he looks good with it. He looks good with anything on. I think it's credit. Good for him. I mean, dude doesn't. I don't even know if the guy knows what a carb is.
He didn't know what a donut was.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually knows what a carb is. Like I had pizza this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not eat that?
Pizza's great.
I like never eat pizza ever.
Right.
Oh, here's a little nonsense story for you. Yeah, let's just go and throw this in the podcast right now. Saturday.
Why not?
Saturday is basketball day.
Yeah.
I ordered some chicken wings.
Rob?
To Wingstop, is that what it is? Or Wings Up?
Not it, but all right.
They're not good. I don't have any good options here for chicken wings, okay?
Yeah.
So, whichever that stupid store is, it's got the wings. And like, I don't know, why are they selling fries with wings? I don't get that either, but whatever. Get some wings, get a 20-pack. You know what's next to the Wingstop? Little Caesars.
Oh, little grab and go?
Yeah, so I've never actually been to Little Caesars before, but apparently they have like a lunch special.
Yeah.
It's like $4 for a little personal pan.
So best thing about Little Caesars is that they also have another special that's like $5.99 large pizza, just take it and go.
It's just ready?
Yep.
How are they staying open with these prices?
Because they can just keep making those, and they don't say those. So say like the margin is like, say it costs them $2.50 to make one of those hot and readies, but you don't have to carry as much like inventory because you're just making those all the time. Like you're just constantly pumping those out, and every single one's $3, $3 profit.
All right, sure.
And there's no delivery on those, so yeah.
Well, I gotta say this: the pizza was good.
It's totally acceptable.
It's totally fine, right? I was really surprised.
Yeah, because a lot of people bag on Little Caesars. Little Caesars pizza is totally fine. Very few pizza places are just true shit. There's only one that I don't like anymore.
I hope it's Papa J's.
It's the father. Yeah, the father. Yeah. Father shit.
Papa J's is really bad.
Father shit, dude.
I mean, I think Domino's is pretty bad too, but Papa J's is like a special.
I hated Domino's growing up, but I really like it now.
I'm not really into it. I don't like their pizza sauce.
Fair enough. Yeah, dude, the father is unbearably bad.
It's really, really not good.
And unbearably racist, just for fun. Yeah,
which is that's the 1-2 punch. I can handle, if you're gonna be scum, you gotta have food as good as Chick-fil-A.
Exactly. Right,
have that be the bar.
Right. It's pretty hard to say no to Chick-fil-A, even with like their literally morally abhorrent stance with LGBTQ people. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I still have eaten my fair share of Chick-fil-A.
I have a Chick-fil-A cup in front of me right now.
Can we talk about the main event of the Takeover show? And I'm gonna say that I felt like it was a little overrated.
I have some thoughts on this.
Go ahead.
Who should go first, me or you?
You.
All right, so watch the show with you, Bob, and colleague and host of the Game podcast, Brian Gottlieb.
Correct.
Brian Gottlieb, once we were into the third fall, he immediately said, not sure why this is the best 2 out of 3 falls match since the first 2 falls added nothing, which I totally agree with.
Yeah, and weirdly, like, they did a lot of their marquee spots in the first 2 falls, but the third fall was so much better than either of the first 2 falls, and we all knew it was going to be, and we all knew it was going to go 3 falls.
Yes. So I agree with him that the first 2 falls were basically pointless.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have rewatched this match like 6 or 7 times because every time Gargano wins, I get a huge smile on my face because Cleveland, pride,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
And Morrow's call was really good.
It's really, really, really good. It was a part of me when I first watched it was like, okay, this is a lot of hit your best move. Gargano kicks out a lot.
Yeah.
And so part of me was just like, this is a little bit annoying.
But that's kind of his shtick, right?
But I was able to buy into it because it was literally just like, he will not lose.
Like, he has decided that, like, after all of his failures, this is going to be the time he's not losing no matter what happens.
And I think Cole played the role of super frustrated heel really well.
Yes, I agree. Wow, the world's worst sling blade by fucking Finn Balor.
That move's trash.
That move made 0 contact.
Yeah, that move is fucking trash. I'm probably going to see it here in a minute because I'm behind. But I actually, upon multiple viewings, just buying into the, like, Gargano will not be denied this one time.
Which is what it was. It was that, for sure.
I was willing to suspend the disbelief and just go like, okay, Panama, whatever that stupid thing, his Canadian Destroyer.
Panama Sunrise.
Yeah, the Panama Sunrise, kick out of that. I will say, the only one that I had a little bit of a beef with is when Gargano takes out the Era.
Yep. And he gets the last shot at immediately upon coming in.
Oh no, he gets super kick to the face, super kick to the back of the head, so he falls on his knees, then gets last shotted and kicks out of that.
Yeah.
Because, like, if Cole wins there, it's like, okay, that's like the 1, 2, 3.
And it
all makes sense.
And there was interference too, so.
Yeah, it all makes sense for that to be the one that Cole wins on. And then, obviously he misses the last shot again, and then Gargano gets in the Gargano escape, and Cole taps, like, pretty fast.
Yes.
And I was, part of me was just like, I don't know, shouldn't he have lasted maybe a little bit longer? But other than that, like, I think the match was really good.
Oh, the third fall was ridiculously good.
The third fall is really good because the first 2 falls actually is just, what are these here for? So I don't even count those as part of the match.
Yeah, almost like time wasters to, like, buff out the match a little bit.
Yeah, so those are my thoughts. What are yours?
I pretty much agree. I mean, I thought the third fall was outrageously good, super high drama. I'm hoping beyond hope that Gargano doesn't get the Sami Zayn treatment.
Just lose right away.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this match between Balor and Andrade is really good.
Oh, it's good?
But I will say that Balor has blown at least 3 spots in this match already.
Well, you know who doesn't blow spots?
Andrade?
He does not blow spots.
No. Balor just blew the fucking clothesline him over the top rope. He didn't get anything on it at all.
That's not good.
Not sure what Zelina's doing, but I loved the match. Obviously, I loved seeing Gargano win, finally get that W, and I think they should let him have a nice reign until like SummerSlam.
This is the kind of guy though that they don't give the long reign.
Ever.
Because he's better when he's chasing.
Zelina just hit a better Hurricane Rana than Finn does.
I like that that's Zelina's only move.
Yeah, but she's actually a good wrestler. That's the sad part.
Yeah, but she her move is just hitting the Hurricane Rana, and she's actually really good at it.
I think you might end up being correct here.
Oh baby, I love winning when I'm live. This doesn't happen often.
Yeah,
Also, hey Corey Graves. coup de grace.
Yeah, not Coupe de Gracie.
Get an education, bro. It's literally your job to talk for a living. Come on, man.
Dude, Corey shit.
I'm not that heel on him yet.
I told you before, and I'm gonna look like a genius when we get to Kofi's match, because Byron Saxton,
he was actually really good.
He was fucking insane in that match.
I've watched that match like 6 times. I cannot believe how good Byron Saxton was.
Like from the very beginning, he was insane. I don't know if this match was not for the. This match may have not been for the title.
Ooh, the clothesline! I just saw the clothesline. Ooh, boy.
Yeah,
not great. It's tough when you miss that spot. It's tough.
If this wasn't for the title, by the way, why did they do it?
I don't know. Because television.
But like,
mostly.
Why does champions lose so much in WWE? It's so dumb.
That's their thing. You know that. Great job by Cole. So the small things in this match too that I loved. When the Era gets involved, and the camera shots that they have of, first of all, one of my favorite things, and I actually think this is a skill, is when the person runs onto the ropes to distract the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick Strong's whole body's moving when he was doing that, and he's got arms flying.
Yeah, he's going bonkers.
He's going nuts. And some people are good to distract the ref, and he's just like, ah! Like his whole entire body's all over the place. Is this time for the?
I mean, I think
he hit the hammerlock DDT. Is he kicking out of this? Really? No, he won't. Is it just not for the belt?
I don't think it was.
Okay. That's kind of lame.
All I'm going to say...
I'm so happy, though.
I know, but I don't see any titles. Do you?
Not right now.
Like, I also didn't see Finn leave with the title. It's just... Nobody gets it now?
He had the title, though, when he came out.
Yeah, he did.
All right, well, we'll see. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you watch... There's two ways people can distract the ref, right? I feel like there's what Roderick Strong does, which is literally move all parts of his body all at once, and then there's the other distraction, which is the hot girl distraction.
Yeah,
which usually is like go up on the apron and then like smile and maybe wave.
Yeah,
which I don't know why referees are all of a sudden from the 1920s, where like a simple smile and wave from a girl is enough to like completely cause them to lose focus on their job. But I mean, there are literally guys that work at hot dog carts that have better ability to stay focused than referees.
Well, referees have a tough job, as you know. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
The other small thing that I noticed that also had to do with the Era was just Kyle O'Reilly's faces. So first of all, he rakes the eyes of Gargano, and the raking of the eyes is hilarious.
Yeah, because it was like so over the top.
Yeah, and raking of the eyes is always funny to me anyway, but yeah, super over the top. And then when the ref gets pushed out of the ring, they cut to O'Reilly's face, and they're just like, yeah. He's like looking at Fish, and he's like, okay, we got to get in the ring. They hit the total elimination, and then you hear him say, get the ref in here! Get the ref in here!
Yeah, that was great.
And I'm just dying laughing, because Kyle O'Reilly, he does the little things so well.
The faces he's very expressive. The Era just does all that stuff really well. I think there's a reasonable chance they're going to turf Adam Cole, though.
Yeah, we talked about this. You think they're going to maybe blow it up a little bit?
Not necessarily blow it up. I just think they're going to boot Adam Cole so he can. I mean, Adam Cole could have a face run right now. Like
you know what I think? You know what I think they do?
What?
Dub turn
with Gargano.
Have Gargano lead the Era.
Nah. I think they're just gonna Starscream it and have Roddy do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like go back to a 3-man a leaner version of the Era, and then that gives you another rivalry to work with.
Okay, I could definitely see a Cole face run, but I could just see them turfing Cole and just going like, Johnny, we need a real leader here.
I mean, that's possible, but I think they are going to do the we need a real leader here. I just don't think it'll be with Johnny.
You did say that Johnny's a good heel. I've never seen it.
Yeah, he's a really good heel. He's like he does arrogant very well.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
By the way, this NXT show, just a quiet 10 out of 10.
Yeah, just full blown perfect. Amazing show. Amazing show. WrestleMania, on the other hand,
it was very long.
It was a very, very lengthy show, and we're going to talk about that show at length right after this. Next up in the shilling is a quick message from our friends over at Ultimate Guard, your home for premium protection products. Now, naturally, I am the North American marketing manager for Ultimate Guard, so I have to shill some products here. Most notably, you may have seen on our Twitter at Ultimate Guard that we are really pumping it up for our Lands Edition 2 products that are coming out. We had a Lands Edition 1 product before. That's, of course, your plains, your island, your swamp, your mountain, and your forest that we put on sleeves and binders and deck boxes and stuff. We've done that again, but we've improved some things quite a bit here, most notably the artwork. The forest and the swamp are like outrageously good designs that I wish I could even attempt to draw. We've put these designs on the same products, sleeves, deck boxes, binders, and playmats. However, we have updated our sleeve technology because most printed sleeves are hot garbage and they peel because you have to put 2 layers. Well, we found some things that actually work quite well that we're very happy with. So our Lands Edition 2 line is going to launch April 26th. That's a Friday, last Friday of the month. You can learn more over at ultimateguard.com or find us on Twitter and Instagram at Ultimate Guard, your source, your home for premium protection products. Back to Zipod. 6 hours?
7.
Is that how long this was? 7?
Oh, no, it was almost 8. Because it started at 5. It did not end until 12:30.
It's unacceptable, really.
I mean, to expect, like, that's just such a disservice to the women that were in the main event. And I mean, it even does a disservice to, like, Triple H and Batista. Because the match goes on so fucking late that, like, if they aren't perfect, if they're not super exciting, the fans don't have any patience for that. Dude,
yeah, because they're tired.
I need to ask an important question.
Hit me.
How the fuck is Todd Chrisley still employed?
Is that the Chrisley show?
Yeah, what does he do well?
That's the USA show, right?
Yeah, what's the point?
I don't know. There's some white people out there that watch that.
Why, though? Kidding? But why?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Like, I mean, there are so many shows on TV that I think are terrible, but I totally understand why they exist. Who's like, who's DVRing Chrisley Knows Best?
Aren't they in like season like 5 or something?
Oh, way past that. There's a spinoff. Like, honestly, when if I'm recording like Raw or SmackDown and Chrisley Knows Best is on afterwards, and like I get 1 minute of it on my recording, I get so mad. I get so angry that I have to even see that fucking guy.
I don't know. He's raking it in though.
Oh, he sure is. He sure is.
Where are we starting with this thing? Pre-show.
Let's not. The Murph Dog in a match that nobody called, including neither one of us thought this had any chance of being a title change. He was defeated by the premier athlete.
Nice Lightning?
Nice Lightning. What a weird time to do this title change, and what a weird person to do the title change with.
Is Nice good?
He's definitely good enough.
I agree with good enough.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is that they want to call Buddy up.
Which thank God.
Which I'm totally on board with, because let's just be honest, Buddy Murphy's a really, really good wrestler.
I think he's a phenomenal wrestler, and he's in insane shape.
Also, his finisher is actually still bulletproof, because even though Nice got his leg on the rope, he still hasn't been kicked out of.
So here's a real question for you. When they call Murph Dog up, what's his name?
We talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah, because I made fun of his name being Buddy. And
well, is it Murphy or is it Buddy?
What if it's just Buddy?
Buddy!
Dude, what if there's a Buddy and a Cedric just on the roster?
That would be me and the dog are on the roster.
And then they changed. Then they changed Samoa Joe's name to just Joe. and they form a stable called Cedric Talks.
Buddy Murphy Joe, basically. Or excuse me, Buddy Cedric Joe, the age of Alexander. Dude, we got Elias in the ring. That's always a good time. I was a little surprised to see the Murph Dog lose here. If they want to do something with Nice Lightning, go ahead, I guess. I think your assessment of good enough is a great way to describe it.
Here's what I'll say. The people that took the biggest beating on this show, as far as like this being an unfair WrestleMania should just be 2 days, okay?
Yeah, we've been over this.
It just needs to be 2 days, or 2 separate months or something like that. Like, there's just too much that they want to get to in one day, and it just doesn't work. Like, my thought is, what you should do is you do the Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday night, and you do like a few of the matches of WrestleMania on Saturday night, like in front of like a real intimate crowd, and maybe do some like your grudge match style matches on there. And then on Sunday you do like the pomp and circumstance. Anyway, what I'll say is the cruiserweight title guys they got shit on because there was nobody there yet.
Yeah. What are they supposed to do? I mean, they probably put on a good match. I didn't watch it. Not gonna watch it because, I mean, I saw some highlights that they posted, and Nice hit the running Nice, which is a horrible name for a finisher, and then that's the win.
Dude,
Which
I don't know who SmackDown's keeping, but now Rey Mysterio's here.
Hey, who gives a shit about Rey Mysterio?
Oh, obviously. Dude, Rey Mysterio's his WrestleMania performance was gas.
I would love to get paid for that. I'd love to get paid for that. We got a women's battle royal. I actually really like the women's battle royal. Okay.
For a couple reasons. One, no Lacey Evans.
Yep. Which
everyone predicted, including me. Two, very weird final four, but kind of awesome. With Sarah Logan, Asuka, Sonya Deville, and I think Mandy Rose, or maybe Mickie James. I don't know.
Wasn't the winner? You've not named the winner yet.
I know, because that was the final four that wrestled the part of the match, and then my client sneaks in with what I thought was a pretty great finish overall, especially because Sarah Logan winning was pretty insane, and I would have been down for it. I also thought that there were some people that really looked good in this match, as far as Dana Brooke got over in this match, which was weird.
Dana Brooke is super easy to root for or root against. She should be on TV more.
I agree with that 100%. I also think Sonya Deville is really good.
I think she's going to be very, very good. I think she's going to be a great, great, great heel champion at some point.
So do I. And I actually think she could work as a face too. In the same way that you could definitely do Balor Club style stuff with her too.
Sure, I agree. I actually agree with that.
Raw tag team titles. The golden fucking bullet.
You called it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Well done. Well fucking done, man.
But I'm not going to lie. On day of WrestleMania, I thought briefly that they might get the chance to keep the belts, the Revival would, because of the fact that Dash Wilder was the first person in the ring when that guy jumped Bret Hart.
Yeah, and just gave him the biggest punching I've ever seen.
But I think what they got in exchange for that is they got to actually have their offense.
Sure.
I mean, their entrance.
Oh, boy, Rey Mysterio just botched bad.
Well, I've got some other bad news.
That was tough.
Another person just showed up on Raw. And
God, who now?
And he's got some electrical tape on his pants.
Whose territory is it? I'm confused. I don't know. Where are we?
I will say that Rey Mysterio just made him look like an actual $1 million.
Yeah, of course. This is the perfect person for Lars Sullivan to throw around.
I mean, but Ray did.
Of course.
For a guy who's beat up right now, Ray did a really nice job of just making this guy look awesome.
Yeah, here he comes. I'm a big Lars Sullivan guy.
I'm still not, but I do think his act will play well on the main roster.
You know what? Good for Hawkins and Ryder for winning.
Yeah. Wow.
Good for those guys, right?
Lars is administering the biggest beating I've ever seen to Rey Mysterio.
The camera angles they have for Lars as he's walking to the ring, really good, actually. They are really good. This guy, he's got a look that works. Whether he's a good wrestler or not is debatable.
Oh yeah, he's got a great look, and now
but he's got a look that works.
Now I'm randomly just rooting for him because of his mental health issues. So now I'm really into Lars as far as I want him to succeed. Also,
I think he just plays a big doofus well.
I'm gonna give him this too. He was legitimately kind of fat in NXT.
Yeah, he looks really good.
He looks great. Yeah, he definitely leaned up a little bit. For a guy, this is the classic thing, right? Where it's like 10 pounds or whatever on like a guy like this makes a huge difference somehow. Like,
yeah, it does.
Like he just doesn't have instead of having a spare tire, you can actually see that he has some abs.
This dude's really good at throwing punches that misses. But look like if they hit, the person would be
basically
dead.
He's destined to fight John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh my God! 6-man tag team match tonight. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, the Cedric Trio.
They're back. Okay.
Versus the Boar Horsemen. Yes,
the Boar Horsemen. Yeah.
Will be taking on Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and question mark. What
if it's Dean, oh man, that would be amazing.
Also sponsored by Popeye's Chicken, Becky Lynch will take on Ruby Riott.
Great. I wonder who's going to win. I don't really have much else to say about this tag team match outside of congratulations on you calling it.
Yeah, the Golden Bullet, dude.
They're going to AEW, man.
I think that they might be. Although, like, I'm not 100% convinced they will, but I think it's pretty likely. Dude, the men's battle royal was so bad, I almost don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it much. The only thing I'm going to talk about is this. Braun Strowman, he got like really cut for this because he was posting on Instagram how he wasn't eating carbs and working out a lot. And he looked fucking insane.
Yeah, he sure did. And I will say that Colin Jost, the fact that in the year of our Lord 2019, someone wore a Cleveland Browns jersey in New York to get heel heat is truly a proud day for me and my family.
How great is it?
It was great.
Everybody's realizing what we already knew. Cleveland, that is.
Yeah, Cleveland game. The battle royal itself was pretty bad. It was actually
not talking about it.
Yeah, no. Luke Harper looked really skinny though.
And Luke Harper won his match against
Dijakovic.
Yeah, Dijakovic. His name is too hard to fucking pronounce.
Dijakovic.
Yeah, isn't that a name we can remove? Can't we just call him Donovan or Dominic or whatever his fucking name is?
I mean, his regular name was totally fine. When he was just Donovan Dijak or Dijak.
Yeah, why did we change that? Because I can't say his freaking name.
Did he really need to have the Ovic added to it?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss as the host of WrestleMania, introducing Hulk Hogan, the race.
And another bet that you were defeated on though.
Yeah, I didn't think Hogan was going to show up, and he was there. Yeah, it's good to lose him immediately.
Yeah, that's like when you're down, like when you bet a basketball game and the team's down like 35-8, and you just go,
it's fine, I lose.
We're done here. Now,
yeah, don't waste any time. Take my money. I think, Hulkster, great, but, miffed it or punted it again.
Yep.
He fucked up again. Maybe it's a running joke. I don't know. I don't think so.
It was supposed to be a running joke that time, but
we got right to the meat and the potatoes of the show right away. We get Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar out here. I was watching this on my break from coverage and seeing that it was the first match. I was like, okay, this could be interesting. And they just say, we're getting this shit over with.
I was grilling hot dogs and I missed the whole match.
They said, Brock, you lose. Seth, you win. And Brock, I don't know the next time he's going to be back, but I think he's going to be gone for a little while to get ready for his next fight.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay.
I will say this. I didn't feel like Brock put him over very strong, which I think is pretty rough.
I don't know. 3 stomps, no kick out is.
I guess 3 stomps. That's 3 of his finishers.
Brock is kicked out of a lot of finishers.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I fully expected the 3rd stomp for him to kick out. And then, the narrative becomes, what does Seth Rollins have to do? All this other stuff. But then, it was just like, nah, I'm beat. And I'm just like, holy shit. Okay.
I will say that
I still love that, Brock's weak point. Like King Hippo with the Band-Aid over his stomach.
Yeah, or his balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he gets hit in the balls, that's game.
Your strategy to beat Brock is distract the ref.
Yeah, and then do something to his midsection.
Yeah. From there, you're clear. Like, if I'm wrestling Brock Lesnar, the first thing I would do is I would push the ref out of the ring on accident, and then we're going low.
So we're half hour into the main roster, and we got a 3-minute match. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then just to wake the crowd up and really get them started, someone cue Randy Orton's music and let's see some poop snakes. He looked like those snakes looked literally like poop emojis.
Randy.
Dude, Randy was getting so mad during the match.
It's not. Yeah, he was because of the lighting issue.
Yeah.
Well, he thought the fans were shitting on the match.
Yeah, but they actually, for once, the fans were actually not in the wrong, I feel. Because, look.
Yeah, they couldn't see.
While I don't love like making a big deal, you have to do something. Because right now, these people paid hundreds or thousands of dollars to be there, and now they just can't see.
Yeah, they have to. They actually have to react.
Oh my God. The WWE production team just screwed up big time.
What happened?
So Gable and Rude are in the ring getting ready to talk. And then the Chiron just came on the screen that said the Usos. Whoops. Well, I wonder who might be coming out next.
Well,
come to the Usos penitentiary.
Yeah, here we go. They were rumored to make the move, so I'm actually kind of happy they're making the move. Good for them. What's the next match?
Orton and Styles. We don't need to talk about it, right?
Not a ton. This match actually was supposed to start the card before they decided to start with Seth and Brock.
Those were the match that I thought would start the card was that one. That's what I said on the podcast before WrestleMania. But
this match was fun. I actually kind of want to see the feud continue.
I kind of do too, but only because I think that the promo work was really strong leading up to it, and it did not feel like they were going all out. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could have a better match. I don't know. I think I could see these two actually working well together.
Oh, and shockingly, it is the Usos.
Yeah, weird.
SmackDown
Tag Team Championships, the Usos, The Bar, Ricochet and Aleister Black, and Rusev and Nakamura. This is the one match that I have not watched yet that I want to.
All right, you want to hear something really weird?
Always.
The Usos don't have their belts with them.
Yep, this is... Something weird's going on.
Are they going to just strip all titles or some shenanigans?
I don't know.
Because
something really weird is going on.
Dude, Gable and Rude now have Billy and Chuck style gear. They're wearing...
I'm seeing...
They have matching red and yellow tights.
Okay. This is a failed experiment. They have nothing else to do with these guys. Fucking I said Google. Google. Gable and Rude.
Google? He is a Google at this point.
How do you have a guy like Rude who was so fucking over in NXT and has the best team in wrestling, and you bring him up as a face? How do you fuck that up? I don't get it. I really don't. How good was this 4-way tag team match?
Pretty good, actually. It was fast, and there wasn't any boring parts, and the right team won.
How great. Do you know how old the Usos are?
Still only maybe 31.
They're 33.
Yeah.
They're young.
I know they're super young because they came up super young.
Yeah, they're young and just awesome, and that means they're just going to be awesome for longer.
Yeah, we probably have 10 more years of solid Uso time. They're probably going to go down as the best tag team ever in WWE history, which is kind of amazing.
Wow, you think of them that highly?
I do think of them that highly. They've been legitimately solid gold since the heel turn. They've had no bad times, and then you have to take into account they have several tag titles before that, and they were very over as a face team doing the Haka dance or whatever that thing is called.
Yeah, it feels like that was forever ago, doesn't it?
Not even the same people.
Yeah.
And to be fair to those guys, they've both gotten into way better shape. Their ring work makes so much more sense. Dude, Gable is so good; it's actually creepy.
I know, it's insane how good. It's insane how good Gable is.
Did you see good social media follow of the day? Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said when he tried about trying to single leg Gable during the battle royal?
Ooh, no, I did not.
He's tried to single leg an Olympian today. Got my ass kicked. Won't be trying that again.
I like Luke Harper a lot. I hope they actually do something.
Yeah, same.
With him. The Usos are so over, and right now, the Usos' old look with the face paint or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your classic face tag team. The look they have now is so 2019.
Yes, exactly.
It's we're badasses. It works as a face or a heel. We're smooth. The tattoos look good. The hair looks good. They got a great look.
They got a great look, and the fact that they're brothers and they finish each other's sentences and stuff is awesome. I think their promos are really good, super entertaining. Welcome to the Uso penitentiary. The first time they said it, I'm like, I don't know. Nope, it's awesome.
Nah, it works. It works. It's all good.
Speaking of things that worked somehow, The Miz.
Shane doesn't, dude. Shane on WrestleMania. I don't want to say he doesn't miss, but he's real because like I don't think Shane Undertaker.
That was boring and it was a freak show.
Yeah, I think that was a big time flop.
Well, to be fair,
like,
when was the last time Undertaker had a good match?
That's also true. But like Shane AJ was great. Shane Kevin Owens was like pretty good, even though it wasn't a WrestleMania. And then, this Miz face turn's working. Sorry, we had a little editing break there, so I could chew this ice, which is not a good thing to do while doing a podcast.
I myself like to stab myself in the face with a needle, just to keep things fresh.
Shane and the Miz. The Miz as a face is working, and Shane is really good at his job, actually.
As a heel.
Even though we're tired. Yeah, as a heel, yes.
He is horrible as a babyface. Who wants to really cheer for Shane McMahon, honestly?
A millionaire? Not really.
Yeah, a millionaire like brat kid who, basically has had everything handed to him. Nah. Mean Street Posse? Yes.
Dude, the thing that Shane is doing Creepy Greg, though, right now.
It's really funny.
It's really, really funny. You got to announce it better or I'm going to fire you.
It kind of reminds me of like a CM Punk thing to do.
Yeah. But like, I don't really think... this has probably happened before, but the way that Shane is doing it is really, really funny.
Well, plus, he legitimately has the power to do that. That's what works.
The greatest in the world. Or best in the world. Yeah. Little thinly veiled shot there at CM Skunk.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode kind of sucks. Can I just say it?
Nope, I'm not listening to that.
I think he's given up on life.
I would believe that. You imagine being as over as he was as a heel in NXT, and they brought him up into this, and he's done nothing since he's gotten.
Well, he said glorious a lot.
I mean, he did his job.
Mm-hmm.
He's done everything that's asked of him, to the best of my knowledge. But they haven't given him any chance to succeed. He's a natural heel.
They've given him nothing.
Yeah, he's a natural heel, and he's good at his job.
Well, at least
and he's a really good talker.
At least he's a heel now again.
Yeah, I think this team is starting to become a heel.
They're definitely heel turn. The Shane McMahon versus the Miz match was great, I thought, for what it was. A garbagey brawl that went all over the place and ended with a really... that you're going to be seeing that suplex, the shot that they did from the top, the camera shot where you could just see him him getting suplex like over the crowd.
Yep,
you're going to be seeing that for, I don't know, probably the next 15 or so years on like highlight packages and stuff. It will definitely be part of the Miz's Hall of Fame package when he goes in someday.
The Miz is going to win one of the main titles, depending on what they
before
do.
Before the end of the year. I agree.
I believe it's going to be SummerSlam.
Yes.
I do.
So at this point,
because the face turn is working, because now they have even more of a reason to root for him as a face because of Miz and Mrs.
Yep. And like he's very likable on that show.
Yeah, and his dad.
Let's just say it. At this point in the show, by the way, everything's going pretty good. WrestleMania is kind of rolling. There was the Hall of Fame recap thing, but they have that every year and it's fine. Can we just say that Tori Wilson somehow hasn't aged, which is weird?
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
I know she does like fitness stuff for a living.
Yeah.
And probably eats really well.
And I'm pretty sure she did date A-Rod.
I think that's true.
I think she dated A-Rod before Jennifer Lopez.
Dude, this crowd loves the Usos. Holy crap.
Dude, the Usos are gas. So show's still going really well, and it's going to keep going really well, as in probably the happiest moment of the night for me, the women's tag team title match.
Joy! Hit it! You mean, you said the Usos are the best tag team in wrestling? I disagree.
Well, because you got to remember that character-wise, I don't think they're as good as the Iconics, but... I do.
Iconic.
Dude, Billy Kay is so funny. It's insane.
I can't get enough of Billy Kay.
Tell you who I have had enough of is Alexa Bliss. I'm so heel on Alexa Bliss.
Did you not like her host work at WrestleMania?
Nope, it was pointless. Although apparently there's gonna be a moment of bliss with Sami Zayn. That's gonna be pretty funny, I bet.
That's actually gonna probably be really good tonight. because Sam, I'm liking what we're doing.
Yeah,
Sami
same.
Zayn. The Iconics were so happy when they won. And are the Iconics good wrestlers? Don't know. And further, don't care.
I mean, they're both pretty good, but like Bob Charlton tried to tell me that they're both as good as Bayley, which, come on, no. But I will say that they're both pretty good, and they understand wrestling very well.
They play their characters like perfectly. This is the new version of like, this is the new age version, in my opinion, of like the Beautiful People
Or Lay Cool.
Or Lay Cool or whatever. Yeah, but obviously they're not going to be as like as sexy as the Beautiful People were in
Except
TNA.
for they're both way better looking.
I totally agree. Peyton Royce is a 100 out of 10. Ty Dillinger, you can call it a 10 or whatever his new name is now. She's 100 out of 10. She's absolutely gorgeous. And they play oh my god, the video they did after they won with
if you don't,
what are they called?
If you don't like that, if you don't enjoy watching people with legitimate joy in their hearts, loving what they do and being amazing at it, your heart is just too cold.
Like, check out there's a video on WWE.com where the Iconics get their new side plates for their belts.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
And they're just going around the back asking people their opinions on the side plates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 7 minutes. That is just legitimately funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a 4-minute interview with the Iconics before WrestleMania that was on the network, and it was just so good. Just they're not going to be able to stay heels for very long, because how do you not root for them?
Yeah, it's pretty hard not to.
They're really funny and they're really good at their jobs, and it's a legitimately like kind of touching story of like, because they feel like real friends, because they are real friends. It's like the New Day. It's like when you watch the Iconics, you're like, all right, these two women love each other, just like Kofi and Big E and Xavier do.
It's also going to be a lot of fun hearing people chant "Iconic" and "Pose"
yes,
like they do,
which will happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen because the Pose post Iconic is hilarious.
And people, seeing fans do it's going to be even more hilarious.
Yeah, and that could blow up on the internet as like a meme or something like that.
For sure.
And everything. Like they've got really bright futures. Nia Jax, torn ACLs, see you bye. Tamina, still the worst in the world.
I will say
Beth Phoenix and Natalya.
Beth was way better in this match than I thought she was going to be.
I agree.
Natalya helped hold things together. I legitimately loved the finish.
I thought the finish was great.
It was a beautifully done finish with like the slick little tag. It actually fooled Brendan, which, I mean, that never happens when we're watching wrestling. But he's like, I think Billie Kay just fell off the apron. And what she had actually done was tag. But it was just such a slick little finish, and I really liked it.
Finish was really good. The Boss and Hug connection, you know what they could use?
Heel turn.
A little time off.
Yeah, maybe, and they might be getting it, so.
Yeah, how about a little time off?
By the way, this would be a good time as any to bring up the embarrassing thing that happened on the Ring of Honor New Japan show the day before.
Oh, Enzo and Cass XL?
That would be what I'm talking about, yes.
I don't have a lot of time for this.
I know.
But I love it. I actually do.
Here's what I love about it. Those two people do not like each other.
Not even a little.
Not even a little, but they realized that they have no future whatsoever without the other one. So these two miserable people are going to be tethered to each other for the rest of their working careers.
It's like when they do the thing in wrestling where it's just like, oh, you guys don't like each other? You're in a tag team.
Yeah, except for it's real life.
Yeah, but this is real. This is real life where they're just like, all right, are they gonna be able to get along? So far, good chemistry in the ring between Benoit and Angle.
Yeah,
interesting.
I just think about it like, I picture like Enzo, like realizing that his rap album is an embarrassment.
Oh, weird.
And like he tries to do this thing at Survivor Series and it fails miserably. And then like he like sees Cass like headlining some armory show and he's fat and he had a seizure in the ring. And then Enzo's just like, all right.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Enzo's
God.
just like, all right, I'm I'm just gonna call him. Like this can't get any worse for either one of us. So
it'd be awesome if Enzo's the one that made the call. And
he was. He already said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just goes like, "Look, man,
this isn't working for either one of us. We have the only way we can try to get back to like where we like to get back to like get ourselves back on track is we have to do it together."
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I'm kind of rooting for them.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like a Tiger Woods redemption story,
but way more insane actually.
Yeah.
Because like weirdly, Enzo was the one who got fired for something he did not do.
Yep.
And he kind of got. I mean, he was just kind of like people just didn't like him, so he kind of got fired. Like they were looking for an excuse to get rid of him, and they found it. Cass, they were trying to push really hard, but he sucked so bad that they had to.
And he just kept fucking up.
Yeah, they're like, "Don't beat up this midget," and it's like, "Well, beat up the midget."
Or boot the midget. How about?
I thought you said boot the midget.
Yeah.
All right, last good match on the card, I think.
100% true, and this is where I'm going to go on my little diatribe.
Well, my friend, I think, not to point out the obvious, but I think this is the time for it.
Yes, black and all. I see.
I mean, to be fair, I saw a lot of black people, a lot of black athletes, a lot of black friends of mine that this did come across as very meaningful.
This match is amazing. And I'm going to tell you why. Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked me when I was streaming yesterday, wrestling came up in the chat, and they asked who my favorite wrestler of all time is. I thought about it for a little while because my go-to answer was CM Punk. And then it's been between CM Punk and AJ Styles. The answer is Daniel Bryan.
By the way, are you watching this fucking Sami Zayn reception?
I'm seeing like him walking around, everyone clapping and bowing. Like, I don't have the volume.
It is crazy. His music is just still playing.
Yeah, they love him, and there's a lot to love.
And he's just skanking around like a weirdo.
Daniel Bryan's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah, he is. He is the best wrestler in the world.
He's one of the best wrestlers of all time.
That's true as well.
And there are so many reasons for that, that don't involve his ring work. However, that don't involve his ring work, one of which is the man has gotten over with two words. One of them is 3 letters. The other is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no.
Yep.
Which is absurd. Then you throw in his ring work and the ability to storytell and his ability to call back B+ player in this story when he's a heel, which is what got him mega over as a face.
Right.
He is unbelievable. And then you throw in the storytelling of a lot of his matches, but most notably this match, where he can't stop Kofi, much in the same fashion that Adam Cole couldn't stop Gargano.
But he definitely thinks he's better than him.
Yes. And there's a point in the match where Daniel Bryan is throwing those kicks at Kofi.
The yes kicks.
He's doing the yes kicks. And there's some pretty solid yes kicks. And then Kofi starts to fire up during the yes kicks. And there's a look on Daniel Bryan's face after he throws like the third one. Because I've watched the match like 5 times where he throws the third kick and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, why isn't this guy going down or anything? Like why isn't this working?
Right.
And then Kofi like takes another one, and then Kofi starts like pacing around the ring a little bit, and then he fires up and he's like, come on, hit me again. And then like
crazy
the match, and the crowd gets really loud when this happens.
Like he does the inverted suplex.
Because the crowd's getting really into it. And this is the most this match is the most the crowd is in the show of all the matches. And
are you there?
Like this is the kind of match folks? Where I don't think anyone wants to see Kofi lose, and I also just don't think the WWE has the balls to have him lose.
Oh, okay, you're back. You were gone for a second there.
Okay, I don't think they have the balls to have him lose.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is just perfect because there's not even like some like weird like false finish or anything. Nope. It's just like Daniel Bryan has him in the bell lock. He gets out of that. Daniel Bryan is stomping on his face. Kofi like gets out of that, fights back with these gigantic punches in the face,
mm-hmm.
and then like starts stomping on his face. And it's just like, is he just gonna hit the Trouble of Paradise and beat him? And it's like, yeah. So it's not like, oh, Big E had to help or Xavier had to help. It's like, nah, man, this dude just won. He just won.
Also, the midnight hour on Rowan, I think Big E probably tore his meniscus doing that.
He may have. Rowan's a big
man. Rowan, he had a hard time getting him up. Rowan's a big dude.
He did. Yeah, he's a really big fucking dude.
Also, got to give credit to Rowan, by the way.
Rowan's done a great job.
He has played his role perfectly.
Yeah, he's done a great job as big bruiser in this role. Just all of it. I've actually really liked his work in this, even though it hasn't been a ton.
No, like, yeah, but he plays his part. Like, because Daniel Bryan mostly takes care of his own battles, but Rowan is just like there as like almost a big insurance policy.
The emotion in this match was genuine.
For sure.
When Kofi wins and the look on his face of like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And then Xavier Woods is basically crying when he gives him the belt.
He was.
And everything else. And then they bring the kids and everything. I mean, that's what makes people still watch wrestling.
You're right. I'll tell you what it reminded me of the most of anything is WrestleMania 7. The Macho Man fights the Ultimate Warrior in a career versus title match. No, it's just career versus career match, actually. And Macho Man's the heel. He has Sensational Sherry with him. He's a big heel. Warrior's big face. A match happens. Savage hits like 7 or 8 elbows on Warrior, but Warrior keeps kicking out. And then Warrior eventually puts him away with like just a single splash. But after the match, Sensational Sherry just starts like beating up Randy Savage.
Okay.
And Miss Elizabeth, who was in the crowd, comes in for the run-in to get Sherry away. And then they have like this tearful reuniting thing. And it's just a legitimately great moment. And this felt like that. This had that same feeling of just like, this was like why we watch wrestling.
They try so hard, and I'm going to blame Michael Cole for this, even though it's probably not Michael Cole's fault, but he's the one that
make a moment.
Yes. They try so hard to make moments.
Well, guess what?
Try to make it so that like, hey guys, this is a moment.
This was a 5-star match.
Yeah, they try so hard to do that to make us care about things, but sometimes if you just tell a good story, you don't have to tell anyone it's a moment because it's right in front of your fucking face.
Let me tell you something. Byron Saxton, I know we touched on it earlier. He called this thing to perfection. He brought up at the very beginning of the match, he said, when I came to the WWE in 2008, Kofi Kingston was getting ready to make his main roster debut, and he took me under his wing and he showed me the ropes and gave me and made me feel comfortable here, and I'll never forget that. And that's why I've been an unapologetic New Day supporter since day one. And he continued that throughout the entire match and was just straight up rooting for Kofi, if we're being honest, but that's great. It's okay for your commentators to have emotional impact on the match, for that match to mean something to them. And Byron's call after Kofi won was really great, just a really great and legitimately career-making call for Byron.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the times where I can't make fun of him at all because it obviously meant a lot. I think it meant a lot to a lot of people in the WWE, and it's funny where he just kind of fell into the situation and made the most of it, and that's super, super awesome. And again, this, as much of this that has to do with Kofi, it takes two to tango, and I want to give a lot of credit to Daniel Bryan here for playing the heel role to perfection. And
we would be remiss if we didn't give somebody else credit.
Vince.
Yeah.
I think Vince did a really nice job with this.
And he played his role on the angle beautifully. He played up the fact that he's has 40 years of racism or whatever, kind of in the background. We're not going to really say it, but let's be honest, the black guy's never been WWE champion or whatever,
yeah.
So if you're Mark Henry, if you're all of the great Booker T, all of the great black superstars that have existed over the past 25 years, especially, and you look at this and you go, finally, Jesus,
first African-born WWE champion,
right?
And it's pretty awesome.
It's really
pretty awesome.
And
all right, we're gonna do a quick recap of some of these other matches.
All right, so let's just say it. Show from here, stink bomb.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's impossible not to go through some of these matches quickly, like Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
1 minute.
I loved this match because Joe needs more wins like this.
Absolutely, and she should be able to pick off an injured Rey Mysterio in 1 minute.
He should be choking Rey Mysterio out, period. If he gets his hands on the whole entire match should be, can Joe get his hands around Rey Mysterio's neck?
If so, game.
Because if he does, it's over. And that's what happened. So good. Reigns versus McIntyre.
Bad.
It was bad.
Very boring.
It was boring. It was heatless. It was everything that a filler match is at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is still maybe getting back into shape post was leukemia. It was
leukemia, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I want to make sure I get that right. Like post leukemia, but there just wasn't a lot of heat to this match anyway.
It was a random match. Honest to goodness, they probably should have just saved Roman's big comeback for. Even though I know why they wanted to do it on WrestleMania, but the show already had too much going on. It was a waste of Roman Reigns' return match. Not to mention, I don't know. It was just there was nothing to it, and I think they're risking with Roman that I don't think he'll ever get booed, but they're risking him ending up with like, well, I don't want to boo him, but I don't really want to cheer him either.
Yeah, you're just kind of here heat.
Yeah, which is actually worse. At least when he was drawing nuclear heat as a face in the company, but a heel to the crowd, that was something good,
Cena, Doctor of Thugonomics returns. I thought this was fun.
It was fun, although it did definitely reek of a. You ever see that Steve Buscemi meme where it's like, "How you doing, fellow kids?"
Yes,
it definitely had of that a little bit.
There were some people I heard some stories and read some stuff on the internet that were just like, "Fuck is he doing?"
Oh, no, I thought it was good.
Well, there's just some people who have never seen Cena play that character.
Oh, and I also think this is legitimately the final run for Cena, and I think he wanted to do that character at least one more time.
Yeah, I agree. It was fun, and Elias always is fun too. Triple H versus Batista was terrible.
Wow, Batista fell down getting into the ring.
But I thought that was just funny.
Nose ring spot, nope.
Yeah, so CBS Sports, God bless you. B+ for this match, huh?
No.
Might want to fire the person.
I believe it was the second longest match of the night.
Classic Triple H.
It got like more time than like the women's match plus the Seth match plus the Ray match plus some other match combined.
Look, I get that Batista wanted to have his final match and everything, and so you want to give him some
time. And I'm
time
actually fine with that.
And I'm fine with that. Here's the problem I have with it. They built to this match in basically 3 weeks.
Right.
We couldn't build to this match over the course of 2 months?
Give me.
Yeah. My buddy Rob Pisano, who you met at GP Cleveland a couple years ago, this is like our favorite thing now. He like posts pictures of when he's at restaurants recently, and I always message him just like, "Give me what I want. You know what I want, sir. This is a Burger King. Give me what I want."
Looks like
I want the Alfredo.
I think we might be getting Bailey with a mystery partner versus the Iconics here.
I got the Iconics in the ring right now with their new belts that look okay. It's just the lighting.
I love the Iconics.
I do too. They're amazing. It looks like it might be a mystery partner indeed. I hope it's Sasha Banks in some sort
of. That would be amazing.
Corbin, say it. God, say it.
Nope.
You're smart. I'm stupid.
You're thin. I'm fat.
Yeah. You're the best. I'm the worst.
You're a good kisser. I'm not very good at kissing.
This match was horrible. It's not anyone's fault.
Oh my god, the reaction to the mystery partner by the Iconics was so funny.
Okay, I can't wait to see who this is going to be. I can't wait. This match was terrible.
Yeah, horrifically bad.
Angle has nothing left. He can't even sell the End of Days. And you know what? Fine. Kurt, thank you. But also thank you for knowing. Maybe he was forced to hang it up.
No,
maybe
he knew.
He knew
it was time.
But yeah, there's nothing left, and you had an amazing, outlandish career, and thank you very much.
Yeah, and Kurt, don't feel bad that you didn't go to rehab when you were in WWE. Like that was tough, and I'm sorry that you like missed out on that part of your career, but it was a great career, a legitimately great, entertaining career.
Is the partner Naomi?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the Iconics look was just like, okay. Naomi, yeah.
I mean, I like Naomi, but they're losing.
Naomi, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Is she going to do the slide? There we go.
What's kind of weird is that Naomi's and Bailey's gear kind of matches.
Yeah, I mean, feel the glow, bright colors, whatever.
Bayomi.
Balor, Lashley.
And what if you're going to do the demon, shouldn't he have just won in like 5 seconds?
This was a little closer than it probably
why
should
did
have been.
Lashley get so much offense?
I mean, but it's also tough for me too because like
it's Lashley. Look at him.
It's Lashley. Look at him. Like, what should be happening? They've weirdly booked themselves. You know what? Credit to Impact / TNA. At least they booked Lashley right when he was there.
It's one of those weird things where like sometimes Impact books guys better than WWE, and it's like how, but that's one of them.
They just go like, "Hey, no one could beat this guy in a fight, so he's just going to kick everyone's ass."
Yeah, basically he was basically Brock.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty cocky about it. Like, if Vince wanted his next Brock, he could just do it with this guy
who has legitimate chops and was a former Marine. Like,
and he has a mouthpiece who's maybe more annoying than fucking Heyman.
Right. He's like a Neo Heyman.
Yeah, who gets involved in matches in Leo Rush. And just, I don't know. Sometimes they make things seem much more difficult than they are. I don't think this is that difficult.
I will say that
I really don't.
The dance break after this match annoyed me to no end.
Why?
Because it was already super late, and I couldn't believe that they were taking time to do that when the show was already running so over, and the women already were missing out on their chance. Oh no! Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
What? All right, I just heard Bailey and Naomi won. Is it for the titles? Oh my god, I just heard Creepy Greg. Are you kidding?
I don't,
folks.
I don't think it's for the titles. Thank God.
Okay, I thought I just heard them say "and your."
Are we just seriously just gonna have all champions lose tonight?
Classic.
Also, Naomi fucking sucks.
She's fine.
She's fine in the mid card, but like every time they try to push her as more than that, I'm like, get out of here with this.
That was a nice split-legged moonsault.
The main event was, I'm gonna say it, I hate to say it, a little disappointing.
I don't know if they could have lived up to the expectations.
True, and the match did have the proper amount of intensity, but the finish was very much out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere. Everyone's saying it was the planned finish. I think they're saving face.
Me too. Also, Ronda broke her hand during the match, and it's a really bad break, like where she needs to have surgery. So clearly, like they probably had to make some changes.
Yeah, I think they're trying to save face in the finish, because the finish should be more epic for Becky winning,
right?
Instead of some sort of, because when we were there were like 10 people at your place watching WrestleMania as opposed to Takeover, and we were all just like, "What the fuck?"
Right?
Because it was just getting going.
And the other thing is like, if you're gonna do the like crucifix finish, usually you do that like when the person is like, Becky would have been so dead, and it was like the last thing she had left was like to wrap up the crucifix or whatever. I mean, they did that finish at SummerSlam '92. The British Bulldog beat Bret Hart basically with like, he hooked the legs on a victory roll, and like that was like, but you can't do it. Like, it didn't feel like Becky was nearly like, she wasn't that dead.
So here's a question for you: should this match have closed the show?
No. But based on the booking going into WrestleMania, absolutely yes.
Okay, that's how I feel.
Like what they should. I mean, the right thing is, I mean, Kofi should have closed the show.
Yep, I agree. Because here's the thing: if you look at it from a time standpoint, and if you look at it from a who these matches for standpoint, I'm not saying. Actually, I am saying the Becky Lynch match. That match is for some younger girls. All the other stuff, and
the casual fan.
And are you trying to have that person stay up until 12:30?
Right, exactly.
To watch this, I think that's a big ask.
You're asking a casual fan to stay watching for 7 hours?
For your Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan fans, I would say that match is actually geared more towards people like you and me.
Exactly, for sure.
Now, it's obviously geared towards some casual fans as well, and the Kofi story is great, but who is coming out now? It's EC3. Okay,
dude,
I forgot he existed.
I like to see, he actually got to do his entrance.
His entrance is awesome.
His entrance is awesome.
He should get to do it all the time. Also, he looks great because it's EC3. But yeah, I think to myself, as important as that match is, and it's very important, I think that should have been the middle match where Kofi was.
But if we're being honest, again, not to harp on the 2 nights thing, but those both deserve to main event.
Yeah, true.
Like, and then they could have had the Kofi match main event the Saturday show, and then the women main event the Sunday show, but they main event the Sunday show at 11 instead of fucking 12:30.
Yep. I obviously agree with that.
Like, to me, that's just outrageous. Or start the show early. Like, it's Sunday. Why don't you treat it like the fucking Masters or something, you know? Start it at like 2 or 1.
You start at 1 or something.
Start at 1 Eastern and just be like, look, this is going to go like until 10. But at least like now you could pace things out and not have to worry that like half of your audience has to go to sleep. Like I had to take Monday off so that I could actually get an effective amount of rest because I get up so early.
Also, I mean, you think about it, that also gets Brock home earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And you really got to weigh that.
That is a big.
Brock could have been out there. Brock could have been out there at 1:30.
He could have made it on like the early bird flight.
Yeah, he could have gotten home to Sable and everybody in time for dinner.
He could have been eating at the Cracker Barrel for dinner.
Yeah, which again, I think you really got to think about that when you're making decisions.
Obviously, we have to cut the podcast a little shorter than we'd probably like to today because I know you got to go get a haircut.
I do. I got to get ready for this trip to Jamaica. Brooklyn down.
It was tied. What happened?
Yeah, it's 89-70 now. Brooklyn down.
Well.
That's why they give you 7 games. What I'll say is this. WrestleMania, I actually don't think it was that bad. The problem I have with WrestleMania the most of the time is just the matches just are kind of there.
Yeah, and you know what? The one problem I have with this year's WrestleMania, there was no match that was like light the world on fire great. While I really loved the Kofi Daniel Bryan match, I still would, as far as like just purely like in ring work, I won't remember that much about the match.
In ring work, I won't. Story-wise, I will.
Oh, I'll never forget the story.
But that's the more important part in that match for me.
True, and I mean that was definitely the intent. So I will say that I agree with that. But they didn't have a blowaway match like on the card that was like, holy shit! Like we'll be talking about that match itself in 2 months.
Before we go, best match of the weekend between both shows.
My personal favorite. I'm just going to answer my personal favorite, which is I like the Dream Riddle match the best.
Damn you.
What about you?
I think that's my answer.
Whatever this Bray Wyatt thing is with this fucking puppet,
it's a buzzard.
Yeah. With the Hawaiian shirt.
Stupid.
It's very bad.
It's fucking stupid. Actually, I'm not. That's not gonna be my answer. That's the best worked match, but I watch wrestling for the stories and the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 matches that, like, you know, kind of choked me up, made me almost cry a little bit, and that's Kofi's match and Gargano's match.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I'm gonna say my favorite match of the weekend, the best match of the weekend was Kofi Daniel Bryan.
I think that's a totally reasonable take.
Yeah,
dude.
You know, this is perfect timing because the box is here with the smoke coming out of it on my screen. I have a little bit of delay with the buzzard. So I'm going to call it quits. I got to run to the bank to go get $20 and then go get my haircut.
It'll take 3 hours.
He's Joey Bags. I'm Cedric Phillips. That buzzer just came out of the box.
I want you to guess who EC3 is fighting.
Okay. Dude, that's tough. Who would EC3 fight right now? He can't fight Mean Dean. He's gone. Is it someone on the Raw roster or a different
someone
roster?
on Raw roster, and let's just say he doesn't have much of a chance.
Doesn't have a chance? Sin Cara?
No. EC3 doesn't have much of a chance.
Oh, EC3 doesn't have a chance?
No.
It can't be like Roman Reigns or anything. EC3 looks like a jobber now.
Oh boy.
Who would EC3 flat lose to? Drew?
Nope.
Oh, bro. Oh. Braun Strowman, huh?
Yeah, he just trucked him.
Yeah. I think EC3 might actually just be a jobber here.
I think EC3 is getting paid, and Vince is still mad because he got over somewhere else.
Yeah, I think it's possible that he might just be like white Apollo Crews.
Yep. Yeah, just great shape.
Which,
like super good looking, but no chance of ever winning a match.
But EC3 has way more character than Apollo Crews does.
Yes.
And he's a great talker, and they're just not going to do anything with him, which, okay.
All right.
AEW awaits, my friend. Yeah, he just got trucked. I just saw that. We out. Be back next week. Thanks for listening. Have a great night,
sir.
And, of course, I hope you all enjoy the Viking experience.
Ivar.
All right, well, Just got back from my haircut, recording this outro now. So thanks for listening today, everybody. I think we did a pretty nice job of covering things and trying to keep it on the tracks, but it certainly got off it a little bit. Watching Raw while recording this episode actually was super fun. That's the first time I've ever watched a Raw while recording an episode of the podcast in these 6 years of doing this. So I don't know, maybe do it again sometime, because maybe it's only good because it was a superstar shakeup. Maybe that's the reason it was good, and because of the Viking experience and everything else that took place. What are they doing with EC3? Is he just a jobber? I guess he might just be a glorified jobber and never get the chance to actually pick up a mic and have a good match. What are they doing with so many people? I have no idea. I hope they figure something out. They have so much talent and they book so badly in most instances. Sometimes they get something right with Kofi Kingston or Becky Lynch, but by and large, it seems like they just screw a lot of stuff up. I mean, seriously, the Viking experience. Someone greenlit that? Really? If I were Rowan Hansen, I quit. I'm going to AEW, I quit. You got to be kidding me. Oh, boy. You can find this podcast on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, the podcast app, and on Patreon at patreon.com/the Cedric Phillips podcast, where you can become a patron if you'd like. Maybe you can become a patron of the Viking experience as well. I don't know. Ratings and reviews, subscribe, all that good stuff over on iTunes. I see that stuff. I check it out. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I also appreciate the increased listens. Podcast has been doing really well over the past couple of months, so I really appreciate you guys listening, interacting, perhaps sharing it with your friends who also like wrestling. Means a lot to Joe and I for you guys to do that, as we just try to put out the best content that we can, and we have a good time doing it, and apparently you guys are having a good time listening to it, so thank you guys very much for that. I will be gone the rest of this week. I'm heading to Jamaica for my best friend from high school's wedding. I will of course be on social media, because I can't not be. So at Cedric A. Phillips on all of those meads, as I'll probably be posting some Jamaica photos and interacting with whatever news comes down the pipeline for Magic and wrestling and NBA playoffs. And we'll be back next week to probably talk about the Viking experience and a whole bunch more. Jewel Vera's gum. I can't do without laughing. Jewel Vera's gum is going to play us out. You all rock. Be excellent to one another. We'll see you guys next week.